So Nick, as soon as he comes up, he will say a few words himself. But Nick Patel, who is the founder and one of the chief executives at Clinq, is going to be our new partner. We're very excited to announce that Nick Patel will also be joining us on the Aurum Foundation team, corporate team, as the RWA relationship manager. So he will not only help us bring across the line this first gold token that I'll be explaining in a little bit, but he'll also be functioning as a relationship manager going forward for the other RWA platforms that we have. So really excited to work with Nick. Nick has an impressive background in not only tokenization, but we need to let him in. Okay, Ahmed, if you're listening on the call, would you please let Nick in? I don't have the privilege to do that. So yeah, he has been working for quite a long time in the space, in the RWA space. Okay, as mentioned, guys, I would like to introduce to you Nick Patel. He is the new RWA relationships manager. Nick, if you're there and can hear me, please say hello to everyone and turn the mic over to you.
Hey, Brian, thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I'm super excited to be the RWA relationship advisor. Sounds like a matchmaker. In essence, it actually is. Just to give you a quick background about myself, I have been in real world assets, specifically precious metals, more so gold and silver, for the last 2.5 decades. I'm the founder of Bank of Bullion in Dubai. We're one of the largest physical metal sellers out of Dubai. We sell 150 kgs of physical gold daily, and we set up Clinq 3 years back. Our sole mission was to tokenize gold for central banks, and for that purpose, we are partnering with Aurum, which we're very excited about. Currently, I'm in Sierra Leone. We are speaking directly with the government of Sierra Leone. We're also speaking to Ghana and Bolivia and some of the countries in West Africa, which I will introduce over the coming months. But yeah, we are super excited to work with Aurum. We know their team have been strategic in doing a lot of good things in the background, and we're hoping this partnership will bring a lot of value, added value for those investing into the RWA space.
No, I said before I let you go, I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Sure.
You must get a lot of people wanting to partner with you, and I'm just curious what it is that you saw in Aurum that made you interested in partnering with us. I'm glad that you did, but could you give us a rundown on why Aurum?
Absolutely. So first of all, obviously, before we get into any partnerships, taking into account, we are working also with governments. We did our due diligence on the board, and quite frankly, you guys have a stellar board. You have a very rounded structure in terms of some of the guys that sit yourself. You've been instrumental with Binance previously, and a lot of your team come with credibility. So for us to find a team that have a huge amount of credibility, a lot of stability in the sense that you guys have created a astronomical community in rather short space of time, it gave us that confidence.
Awesome. Thank you. And what do you see as the future of this? We'll announce a little bit about what we did here, but could you talk about what we've done, up until this point, and what you see as the future for the Aurum community? Just want to give people a sort of an idea of what's to come and
Sure.
what the long-term vision is here.
Absolutely. So essentially, what we've created is a way to tokenize the gold of central banks. Now you have the likes of Paxos, you have the likes of Tether G, but nobody in the space of gold tokenization has ever entered any central banks. Nobody has been able to manage the process of entering the doors of a central bank. I've seen the Central Bank of Zambia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Bolivia, amongst a few other countries. And our strategy was very simple: to create a deep blue ocean strategy to find huge reserves of gold that probably would never get tokenized. And the way we're doing this is very simple. Two things I want to mention, what's really important about how the community will benefit from this. The first part is Gold that sits in central banks traditionally is a dormant asset. It doesn't have any interest, it doesn't create any revenue, it just sits in the central bank. But allowing us to create tokens, fractionalizing it, allowing the public to then repurchase gold that is already sitting in the central bank vault, we've created a revenue stream for the government. In turn, we've created a revenue stream for ourselves and with our partners now being Aurum. Why? Because every transaction is moving through the blockchain. Every transaction has a gas fee. Every transaction has a commission. The benefit for the central bank is also massive. We've given them the ability to create a system where they can immediately get taxes, micro taxes, milliseconds. We've given them a system. Let's say, for example, we're working with Ghana right now. They have 40 tons of gold in their vault. We're tokenizing, we hope, around 2 tons. That's 5% of their holding. Essentially, what happens with this gold is now they're going to receive that money back through the public. All that gold will get allocated back to the public through the ledger, through the blockchain. But most importantly, and this is a new law that, or a new, let's call it legislation that is passing through Basel III, which controls a lot of the world banking system, is if the gold is allocated, you are moving that asset from a tier 3 asset to a tier 1 asset. That means gold is repositioned not as a junk bond or as a tier 3 asset. It becomes the same as cash or treasury bonds. So essentially, not only are we creating money for the government, creating money for ourselves and our community, but we're also basically creating a better financial system for the central banks by shifting the gold from a tier 3 to a tier 1 asset.
That's amazing. And that's the part that I love the most about it. It's not just we're tokenizing a piece of gold that sits in a vault, because like you said, there's already PACs and there's, Tether that have done that. But what we're doing is we're making this gold go to work for the government and in turn sharing on the fees on it. And I think this payment side is really, really brilliant. And I love the way it mixes with what we're doing at Aurum. So thank you, Nick. Any other words that you'd like to share with our community as we welcome you to your new position?
Go for gold, believe in gold. Recently, all these songs were played at an event that I stood up at a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of people ask me, "What's your take on gold, and where do you see it in the next 12 to 24 months?" It wouldn't take a genius to tell you we're not on a downward slide. We might have small blips, we might have sort of peaks and troughs, but gold is well and truly repositioned for a repricing, and we could see it anything between 6,000 and 7,000 over the next 12 to 24 months, potentially higher if there's a lot of unsettlement with war and everything else.
Yeah, well, I think that's a nice short term. What do you think over like a 5-10 year frame? Just if you had to throw out a number there. I know obviously this is financial advice, and we're not, no one's holding you to this. Just curious what your thoughts are long term.
Look, the last time in the early 20s when FD Roosevelt wanted to reprice gold, it shot up around 60% plus. It was $29 to around $47. Now, the US, with its huge amount of debt, almost 40 trillion, if they need to reposition gold, what's the easiest way? Well, they have 8 million odd ounces or 8,000 tons, give or take. To do that, you need gold between $15,000 and $20,000. So that is a potential over the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay, very cool way to look at it. Well, Nick, thank you so much and welcome to the team. It's exciting to be working with an amazing professional and entrepreneur like you. So I can't wait to get over there to Africa to join you and get into the mines. And I know we're going to show a few things here on these next few slides, but from me to you, thank you for being a part of this with us, and I can't wait to get to work with you. So
look forward to it. Thank you, Brian.
All right, cheers.